Yes, the goals or the result of the research is oriented to how the vitamin that is produced by Unesa, nggih, Prof. Itu by Unesa. That produced by Unesa is given to the students in the boarding school because at that time they didn't have any regulation for doing lockdown in the boarding school, Islamic boarding school actually, and also it is oriented to know more about how the religiosity of the students. For example, they do pray 5 times a day and also doing some wirid, we call it wirid, yeah, pray together. Is it influence the self-efficacy of the students to avoid or to have resistance for the COVID? Yeah, that's unique. Yeah. And still don't have any journal literature for this paper. Maybe you can give any recommendations.
Where's your citations? Which journal? So that's what you need to ask. So you go, what research have you used? Can you use, there's frontiers in psychology there. Social behavioural science. Frontiers in psychology again. Okay, we need to go back to what you're promising at the top. So you said mixed methods study.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need to see example of description of both quantitative and qualitative. Here, where is the data on qualitative reported in the paper? So you've got the quantitative stuff there. Where is the qualitative research? Can you ask her? Shelley.
Yeah, sorry.
Ask her where the qualitative research is.
Oke, Prof Najla bisa menyampaikan hasil yang dari metode kualitatif di bagian mana? Karena ini masih menemukan yang kuantitatif begitu. Di bagian mana, Gey? Discussion yang
So this is in the discussion. So if you've got interview results, you need to put it in the results section.
ya, jadi karena kualitatif kan tidak semua di interview begitu ya, Prof. Harus ada individual data yang disampaikan di result. Jadi tidak langsung ke discussion. Gitu. So it means that we have to we have to cite our data, right? We have to mention also the code of the data. Okay, at this result section.
In the method section as well.
Okay.
Needs to explain very clearly how you use the teacher self-efficacy instrument.
Ya, jadi disampaikan juga di method instrumen untuk kualitatifnya, begitu.
And because you're using two methods, you need to talk about how the interview and the self-efficacy data works together to get your results.
Jadi kenapa perlu disampaikan agar datanya bisa relate begitu antara yang kuantitatif dengan kualitatif, dan instrumennya juga bisa dipastikan bahwa itu sangat berhubungan atau relevan dengan instrumen yang kuantitatif, begitu Prof.
And just seeing what's promised in the abstract up the top. Okay, so you asked the question around COVID-19 and whether it's in 2023 it's too late. People are still publishing stuff at the moment, but you have to generalise a bit broadly to people who study in isolation.
Oke. Karena ini sudah berlalu, sehingga juga perlu dikuatkan tentang finding-finding dari research yang mungkin terjadi di tempat lain yang sampai saat ini masih melakukan hospitalization seperti lockdown di pondok. Adakah kira-kira? Jadi itu bisa memberikan gambaran atau perspektif yang lebih luas dan juga meyakinkan bahwa karena mixed method ada kualitatif, ada ada kuantitatif, sehingga itu juga bisa mendukung teori yang digunakan Prof. Gitu. Jadi karena itu tadi mendukung agar ini bisa publish karena kan sudah berlalu, sehingga perlu ada finding lain begitu yang mendukung itu.
In terms of the study, there's 28 participants, which is not really a large sample for a pre and post test. So it needs to be boosted by something. So if you're arguing for a boost in their self-efficacy pre and post test in that small sample, then you need to link it to interviews you've done with the students, and if they've said the praying and spirituality has helped them, then you can suggest that. You can't really suggest, the other ones are medical reasons, body sanitizers, moringa, capsules. You need clinical tests which are random control. So when you do medical type stuff and you say moringa caused it, they need to have properly conducted trials. So you can't really use moringa capsules and body sanitizers, but you could try to argue around spirituality and religiousness, help their sense of self-efficacy. And you might want to, in the interviews, you might want to pick up questions you asked about self-efficacy, if you did, you know, their sense of, you know, competence and whatever. So it just needs this paper's a short paper at the moment. You just need to be clear on what your angle is. Your part is, during a difficult time, self-efficacy seemed to increase, and you're arguing perhaps it's belonging, you can't be sure in that sample, but perhaps it's attributable to the fact that they were praying and doing religious activities,
karena samplingnya cukup kecil begitu untuk di kuantitatif, sehingga tadi yang sudah disampaikan perlu ada data secara individu begitu untuk kualitatifnya, sehingga itu menguatkan apa yang sudah dilakukan pengumpulan data melalui penelitian kuantitatif. Itu yang pertama. Kemudian kedua, karena ini kan berkaitan dengan penggunaan suplemen begitu ya Prof, sehingga perlu ada clinical test yang dilakukan atau mungkin data dari penelitian yang mungkin selain Prof ada tim lain yang juga melakukan penelitian tentang itu tadi moringa ya kalau tidak salah, untuk mendukung penelitian ini gitu. Jadi perlu ada clinical test, clinical test. Kemudian selanjutnya juga disampaikan berkaitan dengan data untuk religiosity. Nah, jadi apakah memang betul-betul dari beribadah, kemudian membaca doa dan seterusnya itu betul-betul meningkatkan level self-efficacy level dari santri begitu untuk menguatkan data yang kuantitatif tadi.
To to be honest, as an editor, I'd say to you, do some more data collection and come back with a larger sample.
Okay.
But the topic is good. The fact that it's boarding school and the religious aspect, I mean, you can do that. And if you're using quantitative methods, you need a larger sample, maybe 200, not 28. Otherwise, if you're doing more interviews and talking to the people in the boarding school, the students, maybe then ask questions around their sense of self-efficacy, because you can do it in a quantitative sense as well. So this is a good pilot study, but you might want to work on it a bit more, because it's probably not ready for publication just yet.
Oke, jadi meskipun ini sudah berlalu begitu ya Prof, tapi masih panjenengan bisa menambah data dengan melakukan pengumpulan data lagi, baik itu kuantitatif maupun kualitatif. Kalau kuantitatif nanti sekitar 200 berapa tadi? How many samples like this?
Yeah, 28 will not really get into a journal. That's what I'm saying. If you can't get a large sample, it might be better to do a qualitative study where you investigate the impact and just interview the students and say, how does the religious and spiritual aspects of this boarding school, what is it about that enhances your self-efficacy or your sense of self and confidence or whatever it is, yeah?
Oke, jadi kalau kuantitatif untuk angka 28 ini sepertinya belum bisa begitu untuk publish, sehingga kalau kuantitatif paling tidak ada 200 sekian sampling, itu yang pertama. Kedua, karena ini tidak kalau itu belum memungkinkan Prof bisa mengumpulkan data yang kualitatif, lebih jenuh begitu, lebih jenuh untuk terutama untuk support data yang self efficacy itu Prof. Tapi masih bisa kok dilakukan untuk pengumpulan data kualitatif begitu.
And the testing of the tablets and such, you need to leave to the medical researchers because they've got it.
Yeah.
And the sports psychology, sports medicine people. So yeah, we can't really do that stuff unless you've got big clinical trials of thousands of thousands.
Jadi memang sebaiknya ada clinical research atau hasil tes secara klinis memang untuk pengaruh moringa ini gitu. Akan lebih baik ketika misalnya, but is it possible or feasible to do that clinical test because it already happened, or it can be supported by other research finding that also research about this kind of supplement?
It means you really need to undertake big studies that you haven't done here. So you can't do a sample size of 28 with a drug test and say that it's effective or not. You just can't do it.
Ya, jadi memang seharusnya ada clinical test Prof begitu, dan memang tidak mungkin melakukan itu sekarang karena kan sudah berlalu begitu. Jadi sarannya adalah mungkin lebih ke itu tadi, self efficacy tapi yang religiosity. Kalau misal mau merubah dan tetap menggunakan penelitian ini. Tapi untuk penggunaan moringa, suplemen dan seterusnya itu tadi memang requirement ya dari jurnal ya. Umumnya pasti akan minta hasil tes secara klinis, secara medical, begitu. Okay. Any other advices? Atau ada pertanyaan Prof, silakan. Sudah ya. Okay, thank you so much Professor Tani. Terima kasih Prof Najla. Okay, next move to the next paper. So this one is Bu Nurul ya, Bu Nurul Papers. Iya, Bu Nurul ya. Bu Nurul silakan memaparkan terlebih dahulu papernya. Mikrofon Bu digeser. Tes. Yeah.
Baik, Bu Seli, mohon izin menyampaikan artikel yang sudah saya buat. Ini hasil camp saya ketika waktu itu saya mengikuti coaching Scopus selama 7 hari di Jogja, sehingga menghasilkan artikel tersebut terkait dengan systematic literature review. Sudah 4 kali saya submit di jurnal internasional Scopus. Yang pertama di Interactive Mobile Technology, kemudian di International Journal of Emerging Technology in Learning, dan International Journal of Engineering Pedagogy, tapi di reject 3 kali. Terakhir saya unggah di International Journal of Evaluation and Research in Education, Q3. Ini sempat direview oleh 2 reviewer. Reviewer yang pertama ini memberikan komentar terkait dengan isi dari artikel ini, namun reviewer yang kedua itu sepertinya mereject. Ya, jadi endingnya 4-4-nya di reject. Ya. Iya, Mbak. Ini saya Bundita juga. Ya. Penelitian ini saya membedah 20 artikel terkait dengan integrasi media pembelajaran berbasis teknologi khususnya di sekolah dasar. Artikel yang saya bedah dari tahun 2013 sampai tahun 2022, dan di situ ada 4 pertanyaan terkait dengan integrasi game edukasi dalam pembelajaran di sekolah dasar itu cenderung di mata pelajaran apa, seperti itu. Kemudian yang kedua, tools yang sering digunakan seperti apa, dan jenis penelitian yang sering digunakan itu apa dari tahun 2013 sampai tahun 2022. Dan yang keempat, dampak positifnya seperti apa. Yang ingin saya tanyakan, itu mengapa ya kok sampai di reject berkali-kali itu ya Bu Seli ya? Apakah karena referensi saya yang mungkin pengambilan rujukannya belum sampai banyak yang Scopus seperti itu, atau mungkin ada unsur lain? Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Bu Nurul. Okay, Professor. So this paper is use Prisma model, and it is already submitted to 4 journal, and all of them rejected this paper. So Bu Nurul also want to know more about how it can be rejected by the publisher. Is it because the references that used in this paper, or you know that we have to mapping out the source of the journal and etc. So it is about what education games that is used by the students in Indonesia, right? Sorry, apa tadi, aplikasi edukatif begitu ya,
ya
yang dilakukan,
ya,
yang digunakan.
Integrasi teknologi pembelajaran di sekolah dasar itu seperti apa?
Okay, the integration of technology in learning activities.
Did the paper go to the reviewers, or did it get rejected straight up by the editor?
3 of them are rejected straight, and then the last one is rejected by the reviewer. So 1 reviewer already reviewed, but the other reviewer rejected.
Okay, what did the reviewer who actually read it, what did they say?
Reviewer yang mereview menyampaikan apa, Bu?
Untuk yang reviewer pertama itu disuruh memperbaiki abstrak, kemudian menambah sumber di metodologi penelitian, dan yang terakhir di bagian kesimpulan itu disuruh memperkuat dengan tindak lanjut penelitian setelah ini seperti apa gitu. Itu aja ya.
So the first thing is about the abstract. she has to revise it. And the second one is the references that is used on the method section. And the last part is about the implication of the study.
Okay, so what was the second one about the references?
References on the method section. Method.
Method. You use Prisma, yeah? Why didn't you put Prisma in your abstract?
Di abstraknya mungkin bisa diceritakan apakah ada menjelaskan prisma di situ?
Untuk prisma saya taruh di metodologi penelitiannya.
Okay. She's not mentioned about the method, the prisma, on the abstract.
Itu berarti harus ditampilkan di situ ya.
It gives it credibility straight up in the abstract. The other points were around reference method. What was it? Implications,
Yeah,
important.
implications.
And what was the first one?
The first one is the abstract.
Yeah, okay. So abstract. Now, I want to start here. Educational games as learning media in the 21st century for elementary school students. Okay, so that at least gives you a scope. I don't know about the 21st century whether it does much, but this is confusing me as a reader. Learning media, what does that mean? What does that mean in your understanding?
Jadi kalau di judul itu untuk 21st century itu sepertinya dihilangkan saja Bu, karena tidak relevan. Nah ini yang perlu digali lagi adalah about learning media. Kalau dari Bu Nurul, learning medianya yang di sini yang yang ditonjolkan itu apa, atau menurut pengertiannya Bu Nurul?
Ya, terima kasih Bu Sally. Untuk pembelajaran di abad 21 ini pemikiran saya itu lebih pada ke novelty atau keterbaruan penelitiannya saat ini, dan kemudian terkait dengan learning medianya, karena di situ saya membedah 20 artikel terkait dengan learning media di sekolah dasar. Itu ada media pembelajaran yang di-create sendiri, ada yang mengadopsi. Nah, pada akhirnya ketika dibedah itu paling banyak penelitian dari tahun 2013 sampai 2022, pengembangan media pembelajaran ini cenderung paling banyak itu meng-create sendiri gitu, daripada mengaplikasikan media yang sudah ada.
Maksudnya begini, semuanya berbentuk educational games kah? Okay. So she said that the learning media is a media to help to help to ease the learning activities. That is use technology, of course, and all of the papers that is reviewed by Bu Nurul is about us, or is oriented to educational games.
Yeah, so educational games is fine. Learning media confusing. 21st century confuses me. So I'm just showing what an editor does. They go puzzled, reject. So if you just went, sorry to do this to your paper, but if I went educational games for elementary students, done. Yeah, because the method's not a problem here. You're not going to be contested on Prisma, right? If you put Prisma in your abstract. So educational games for elementary school students. So you've restricted the field. It's not for high school, elementary. Yeah. Educational games, we pretty much know what they are, right? Good. So we got it. So then you go, I'll let you get past with your title, abstract. Now this is why I said to everyone, your abstract is so important. And what's your friend's name?
Nurul, Bu Nurul, Miss Nurul.
Miss Noodle.
Nurul.
Noodle.
Yes. Correct.
Sorry. You're right. This abstract will turn the editor off, straight off. See this, and I'm going to be very direct here, I'm sorry, but that's what I am. Technology in education is essential in the 21st century. Can't write that.
Okay.
Why is it essential? Why would you put that there, right? If I can disagree with that, you're in trouble, yeah? Yeah? So instead you're saying educational games have become increasingly important for elementary students, yeah? As educational games have become increasingly important as a learning tool or resource for elementary students in the last 2 decades. Yeah? Yeah? 21st century sounds like a movie,
Okay.
like a cliche. Like, dun, 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 dun. So we don't like that. Technology plays an important role in all learning methods. No, you can't say that, because that's what you're going to find out,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because if you take a position, straight up you're saying technology is too broad. Your topic is educational games.
Okay.
If I see that in the title, I want to see it in the first sentence.
Okay.
Educational games play a
Major
role,
roles,
significant
yeah.
role in elementary school student education in contemporary times. Bang.
Okay.
Yeah?
May I translate it first? May I translate it first?
Yeah.
Jadi untuk yang di judul tadi Bu, karena 21st century sama yang yang learning media itu redundan kalau dengan educational games. Jadi pilih salah satu saja, karena itu tadi sudah educational games maka digunakan yang itu, learning media dihilangkan. Kemudian di bagian abstrak, nah tadi kan disebutkan technology in education bla 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 in the 21st century. Jadi karena apa judulnya tadi sudah straight to educational games, maka dibawa langsung educational games itu. Dan 21st century mungkin ini juga untuk Bapak Ibu semua dan saya, 21st century itu tidak proper begitu ya, dituliskan di scientific papers. Jadi itu bukan phrase yang tepat begitu untuk artikel ilmiah. Jadi bisa kita ganti. Tidak hanya di judul tapi juga di body text. Jadi 21st century bla 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 itu kurang frase yang kurang ilmiah Bu. Begitu.
Iya, padahal dulu tahun 2021-an itu kan pembelajaran abad 21 itu kan sempat booming ya Bu Seli ya. Ya mungkin itu untuk yang jurnal-jurnal yang di nasional kali ya.
Because 21st century phrase is like popular in recent years in Indonesia. So, is there any other phrase that can replace the 21st century, or just say it industry revolution? No?
Don't use it.
Ya sama, tidak bisa.
If it's cliche, don't use it.
Ya,
Just
nggak usah
don't do it.
digunakan.
Yeah.
Era
So-
revolusi industri juga.
See, the first sentence now is education games are a debated part of elementary education. I'm not saying that's the best sentence, but at least I've got educational in there. I'm not saying whether they're good or bad. I'm saying they're a debated part of elementary
Okay.
education in the literature. In the literature, yeah? So I'm saying it's out there, and the reason I'm covering it, because the purpose of a systematic review is to tell people what the literature looks like, right? We don't have a position beforehand. What you're doing for them is showing them a review of the literature, saying, here are some of the claims that are made around games. I evaluate them using the rigorous method of Prisma, yeah? The other thing when I skim through this is 20 articles is not enough. Yeah, you need more articles. 20? No. You need to do more reviewing. So systematic review, maybe 40 final articles, and you need to look at about 150 to start with. Yeah?
Iya, jadi untuk Prisma, untuk dipublish ke jurnal internasional sebaiknya paling tidak 40-45 artikel. Begitu. 20 masih kurang.
That makes sense? So this is an example of a paper that has been rejected just on the title and the abstract. The paper might be really good, but it won't be good with 20. You need to get more data. You need to get more articles than 20. Yeah?
Oke. Jadi kenapa mungkin artikel Bapak Ibu seringkali di reject karena pertama kali yang dibaca abstrak gitu. Jadi hanya baca abstrak saja begitu. Itu indikator untuk reviewer untuk accept atau reject begitu. Jadi abstrak sangat penting.
Here we go. This is good. See, the reporting is good, but it's just not enough. Yeah.
Untuk penulisan hasilnya bagus karena disertakan di matriks dan juga apa namanya tadi graph, tapi masih kurang artikelnya gitu.
Can you ask her what she found? What were the conclusions for the paper?
Kesimpulannya mungkin bisa disampaikan Bu Nurul secara umum.
Untuk kesimpulannya, game pembelajaran ini paling umum digunakan dalam mata pelajaran matematika dan juga pembelajaran IPA di sekolah dasar. Kemudian model pembelajaran yang sering dipakai itu secara luring atau tatap muka, dan kemudian tools yang sering dipakai itu tools dengan pengembangan sendiri, ya, dan penelitian yang sering dipakai itu kuantitatif dan yang jarang dipakai itu kualitatif. Jadi merekomendasikan keterbaruan penelitian selanjutnya itu baiknya untuk pengembangan media pembelajaran di sekolah dasar itu menggunakan penelitian kualitatif karena masih sedikit digunakan, dan juga mata pelajaran yang lain khususnya di kelas inklusi gitu. Karena penelitian tentang media pembelajaran yang dipakai di kelas inklusi itu masih jarang. Okay.
So the result is the education games is popular in math and also science, and the second one is about the use of the educational games is most of them use it on face-to-face meeting, not online one. And the third is about the kind of development of the games. So the games that is used by the students is actually developed by these teachers, not the third party. That's good. And the fourth one is about the methodology that is used to develop the games. So it is more oriented to a quantitative method, not qualitative one. No.
Opposite.
Oh, sorry. So most of the papers that is reviewed or that is used on this research is tend to quantitative method.
Yeah, so it's good. You got a critique of the method. You got Prisma. That's all plus. The third finding is the interesting one. That's because for a systematic review to be published, it needs to, like all papers, it needs to move the theory a bit. It has to move something. Your contribution there would be to say commercial games are not as effective as teacher design games because, got it. You might have some reasons. Teachers know their students. Teachers design something that's closer to what the students understand. But you've got to make sure that you find that in the lit review. You have to report honestly. Yeah, so what you've done there, they're much more common in maths than science, whatever. That's good. But you've got to have a so what question. What's the so what? And out of all those things there, one of the so whats is teacher design games are better than commercial ones, if you've got the evidence to do that.
Jadi mungkin nanti ketika Bu Nurul merevisi atau menambah artikel, itu nanti bisa ditambahkan question berkaitan dengan question dan juga menggali begitu tentang kenapa kok games ini yang lebih banyak pengembangan secara mandiri begitu ya, oleh sekolah begitu ya, atau oleh peneliti lain dibanding the commercial one, dibandingkan pakai games yang memang sudah ada di Play Store dan seterusnya. Itu akan sangat baik begitu. Okay, any advices?
What are your next steps? You tell me. What are your next steps?
Next steps yang dilakukan Bu Nurul setelah ini kira-kira apa? Okay, she will develop this research, and this one will be published on a national journal. And the development of this research, based on your advice, maybe will publish on the international journal, right? Yeah, hope so. Hopefully.
Yeah. So keep using Prisma. That's good.
Mhm.
Topic is good.
Mhm.
Yeah. More articles. Keep looking at more articles. And then when you write the next paper, make sure you nail the abstract. Get the abstract right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And think about the so what.
Okay.
What's the point of the study? What does it do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot to mention about the development of this research. So she also tried to develop an answer about the use of educational games in inclusive field, inclusive, yeah, inclusive schools. Yeah, I think that one is more popular, right? I mean, this is the trend. Inclusive is the trend for now. Yeah, I think that's it. Monggo. Okay, is there any advices? What journal that maybe that the most possible journal that will publish SLR or Prisma?
Where are most of the papers that you reference? Where are they from? That's when you know that journal. So if you've got
Okay.
if the final sample is 40 papers and 20 come from one journal, that's the one you want.
Okay.
It's the most common.
Oke, jadi dilihat dari referensi yang jenengan gunakan. Jadi itulah jawabannya di mana jurnalnya Bu Nurul mungkin visible untuk dipublish. Okay, thank you so much, Professor. Okay, the last paper will be from Mr. Shunu. Okay, Mr. Shunu maybe want to present or give a brief description about the paper. Iki entek baterainya. Baterainya entek. Baterainya. Kok nggak bisa dinyala? How to?
this is aimed at an international audience. Yeah. So, international audience knows what management innovation is. Do they know what digital learning behaviour is? They do? It's in the literature? Yeah? No? Is digital learning behaviour in journals? Yeah, do other people publish about it?
Apakah digital learning? Sorry, digital behavior or digital learning behavior?
Yeah. So digital learning behaviour, where is that reference to? Do you reference other journals? Yeah. When you define your terms. This is your introduction, right? So
Jadi di awal kan disampaikan previous studies yang mengukur tentang digital learning behavior. Nah, itu harus dimunculkan. Pak Kacur mungkin ada, tapi diletakkan di mana? About the previous study.
in the introduction, you've got to define your terms. So if your title says management innovation, you've got to define that. You've got to define digital learning behaviour, and you've got to explain what the emancipated school program is. So your title is going to mean people will reject you straight off, yeah? Because they don't recognise those. They don't recognise those terms, yeah. So management innovation and whatever the right term is, you probably wouldn't use emancipated school program. You might say in a school reform in Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can call it emancipated later on. But you don't put anything in the title that'll frighten people away. Yeah, that'll alienate them. So today's digital learning behaviour has become a hot issue in realising educators. I don't know what that means. As an outsider, I'm sorry, but I'm just, as an editor I go, digital learning behaviour is what? Is it student learning behaviour? Is it teacher learning behaviour? Teacher. Okay, so that's not clear. So, the study aimed to discover the influence of management innovation and digital learning behaviours of teachers in a school reform in Indonesia. Or is it Indonesia or East Java?
Only in East Java or only in East Java?
East Java. That's what you're right. Method's fine. The only thing with the method is in these papers are these instruments that you use, these ones here, yeah? The ones that you got in your model, do you reference them to existing instruments? See this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you make these items up or did they come from other studies?
Pak Kajur membuat instrumen sendiri atau sudah ada di previous studies? Okay, from the previous instrument.
Okay, they're validated. Are they? Where do you talk about that?
Di mana Pak menyampaikannya?
Is it there? So the lit review is not as important in these studies, but in the methods section you have to write a section of each one of your constructs. So this methods and materials there, you don't talk about the constructs. You got to actually explain the model. In some respects, I'd put the model up here and let people have a look at it. This is your sample, which is fine. Test results and validation. That's okay in your results. Here, in these papers, you need each one of those constructs. So this construct so-and-so has been used in, this construct has been used and validated in these types of research, yeah? And what was your outcome measure? What was the final one? Digital learning behaviours. Did you make that one up? Where did you get that from? Literature? Is that digital learning behaviour? Where do these items come from? Existing instrument being published in a Q1 journal? No, not Q1, you're in trouble. I'm sorry, yeah, but you could
for what you want to get here, it could be teachers' awareness of technology, but you've got to have an instrument that's been used up there, okay? It might work, but if these aren't strong constructs, you've got to show that these are constructs here. This is the innovative management, right? That's the global one that leads to there, right? That's a mediating effect, yeah, that's good. But when I look at your model, you need to convince me as a reviewer that all of these are valid constructs. That's the first thing you need to do. This one, maybe it's an unknown measure. If these 5 are good measures, the outcome measure may be novel, yeah, or new, but you might want to put another measure in as well as an outcome measure as a cross-check, yeah, to cover it. And the other thing you need to do is argue the logic of this. What is novel about your conceptual model? Why are you doing it like this? What's the rational logic that these 4 things will lead to this mediation effect that'll lead to digital learning-ized behaviour? You need to explain that by the literature. Yeah? Even though it's not called a literature review here, the introduction says this is the logic of my research model, because the literature says that these things lead to innovative management. Other studies have shown that innovative management can lead to improvement in school reforms. That's probably your link. Yeah. Because digital learning-izing behaviour to me is just another example of school reform. Yeah. It's an outcome of school reform. Yeah. So what you're really saying is that innovative management, as defined here, will always help school reform. Yeah. I think that's what you're saying. Yeah. So you can see how the reviewers have got you straight up on your definitions. You haven't defined your constructs, and therefore they probably wouldn't take the study much further past that. Yeah. So the simplest way in these type of studies is to find a Q1 article that has done something similar, and you're just adding one little bit of extra. It's hard if this is a totally new study, new concepts, new area. Journals Q1s will generally not pick it up. Ironically, they don't value innovation. They value replication.
Tidak perlu ditranslate ya, Pak? Iya. Jadi untuk yang di model research ini, ya, untuk yang bagian ini perlu pakai instrumen atau research finding dari Q1. Memang dibutuhkan penelitian yang ini ya, yang terbaru begitu, Pak Kajur. Kalau yang ini boleh dari tadi jurnal nasional nggih? Ya, Scopus juga. Ya, ini tidak masalah, tapi untuk yang part ini yang dari Q1 begitu. Kemudian untuk yang judul yang saya tangkap ya, kita mungkin kenapa di reject begitu? Tadi disampaikan karena ada di Emancipated School Program, it can be replaced by school reform. Ya, bisa diubah menjadi school reform untuk yang
School
ini.
reform in East Java.
Ya, school reform in East Java karena memang levelnya tadi hanya di East Java, tidak Indonesia, gitu. And how about the management innovation? Is it still possible?
If it's accepted if you can justify it in terms of it in the literature, you can use it. It's a well-respected construct and measurement. Yeah.
Jadi perlu dijustifikasi yang tentang manajemen, inovasi manajemen ya Pak. Kalau yang digital learning behavior sudah oke. Jadi yang support untuk yang ini yang perlu dikuatkan gitu, dan disampaikan juga di tadi kalau tidak salah di introduction gitu. Jadi termsnya management innovation ini yang mungkin belum clear, tapi yang digital learning behavior sudah clear. Any questions Pak Kajur?
You put it in the tables like this. Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah, you got to do those tests of validity. Yeah, sometimes they put it in appendices. What's the second one? Yeah, but sometimes they do put them in appendices at the back. for space. It just depends how much it interrupts your flow of the argument. But you've got all the data in there. You've got the statistical test. That's all right. It's just you didn't get your research logic right at the start. So they probably didn't even get that far in the reading because they didn't understand the constructs and the conceptual model. So that's when it lost out. Yeah. There's a couple of. Do you have another question? Is good. There's a couple of, just as a round up of the session, is that there's a difference here for writing for your audience. Like if I have a funded project at home, I write a special report for MOET or my equivalent department. I give the policymakers a separate report, which may look very different, right?
Okay.
When you're writing scientific articles, you have to read the articles at the journals. So that's why my first step yesterday was find your journal. So most of the problems here today, or challenges we had, was that you're not reading into the journals first. So you've set up a research study based on your interest, which is fine, or grants you've got from the government, that's fine. Sometimes you do that work as well. If you want to be serious about this Q1 stuff, and it's difficult, is to keep reading those journals and then design your research based on what's in those journals. What is hot, to use your phrase, what is hot topic is in the journals. You won't get published if your research is from left field. It has to be what's in the journal. So the first step in the research process is read the journals. Design your research. Yeah, that makes a little innovation, whether that's because it's in East Java, whether it's local wisdom, whether it's boarding schools. I mean, these are all good topics. I'm not denigrating your research. It's all good topics. It's that a journal will not publish it, Q1 journal, unless they see it as part of what's happening in their stuff. It feels like colonialism, I know. But I know when I first started out as an early writer, I'm interested in lots of different topics. And I couldn't work out why the journals weren't interested. I get angry. It's like, why don't they accept my paper? Until someone showed me the rule, like publish what's in there already, follow on from those studies. Be part of the long steps, stand on the shoulders of giants. They will not accept things that don't look the same as what they've got already. Yeah.
Okay, may I translate? Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oke, jadi Bapak Ibu, learning lesson hari ini adalah ketika Bapak Ibu memang ingin publish di Q1 atau pokoknya di Scopus begitu ya, boleh, tidak apa-apa. Kalau biasanya mungkin Bapak Ibu melakukan penelitian kan berdasarkan research interest dan juga berdasarkan mungkin apa yang diminta oleh grant yang didapatkan oleh Bapak Ibu dengan scope atau tema tertentu. Tapi kalau memang targetnya adalah publish gitu, maka Bapak Ibu harus banyak membaca jurnal tujuan Bapak Ibu, baca topik yang hot di situ, yang tren apa, kemudian desain sesuai dengan apa yang menjadi tren di situ. Jadi mungkin kalau memang targetnya adalah publish, maka idealismenya berkaitan dengan research interest sedikit diturunkan begitu. Nathan, any other advices?
Don't take rejections personally, because I have millions of them. So I just go, when I get rejected, obviously something I did wrong, because I did not write the paper properly, but I just move on. I know, in my heart, I know the work and area, it's good work, and sometimes people say better off publishing a blog or doing a talk or writing a book, but just accept that the Q1 journal articles are different, and it's a different genre and it's a different game. So if you commit to that, you got to play by their rules, unfortunately.
Sekaligus tadi sepertinya terlewat begitu ya, berkaitan dengan rujukan yang digunakan oleh Bapak Ibu, sebaiknya memang dari artikel-artikel yang ada di jurnal tujuan, itu akan lebih menguatkan. Itu tadi saya lupa menyampaikan. Kemudian yang selanjutnya adalah berkaitan dengan sorry, can you repeat once more? I forgot about that.
The journal articles is a different way of writing. So it's just a matter of adopting that.
Oke.
Yeah.
Oke. Jadi memang Diki 1 begitu ya, atau di top tier begitu, itu memang kita yang harus mengikuti mereka. Meskipun apa namanya, kita meneliti tentang local wisdom itu bagus sekali, tentang research interest kita itu unik sekali, tapi dalam rangka itu tadi itu juga bagian dari kompetisi, bagian dari tren, bagian dari bisnis, sehingga monggo diikuti apa yang ada di jurnal tujuan begitu. Kalau memang tujuannya adalah publish. It's a game kata profnya. Ya.
Educational game.
Educational game.
You good?
Okay. Yeah.
Stop.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's enough. Okay. Please. Summary. Okay.
Tes.
Yeah, no. So here, I'm going to say it to everyone else. What journals did you cite? What did you cite the most? Yeah?
Jadi,
You'll know
yeah.
which journal it is by looking at your reference list and saying, which one did you cite the most?
Mana
Yeah.
yang paling banyak dirujuk itu yang menjadi jurnal tujuan apa Bapak?
They're all different, okay? Okay, so if I look at these journals here and go, look, yours is about educational reform, right? I put that in Scopus and see whether it's Q1, 2, 4, whatever, yeah? Because that seems closer to your topic. That is not going to be close to your topic. That is not going to be close. Because I think your journal's about change. Scandinavian journal is a good one, yeah? Because they're more likely to be open to this. But to me, the main topic of your research is that for educational reform to be successful, you need innovative management. There's an interaction there, yeah? Yeah. Because that means then the implications of your research is that systems should spend as much time on getting their managers right as much as their curriculum. So you can spend a lot of time on emancipatory schools, but if your managers are going, this is something I don't like, no, you know what it's like, it's not going to happen, right? Yeah. So school reform can always be founded on the, may not work because of the principal says yes to the minister, but at the ground level goes, keep doing what you always do. Yeah. I've done my summary.
Okay. Okay. My turn right now. Okay. Bapak Ibu, apakah masih ada paper? Is there any paper would like to present? And let Professor Tony giving the review or feedback. If there is any paper would like to present, so actually we have a break for 1 hour and then we can continue at 1 p.m. If there is still any paper would like to present, jika ada Bapak Ibu yang mau presentasi papernya, kita break dulu baru nanti lanjut jam 1. Tapi kalau tidak ada ya kita close. Bagaimana Bapak Ibu? Gimana? Ini Sampun? Sampun. Alright. So now is the end of the sessions. I would like to giving the feedback or highlight for these sessions is about this is important to state in the abstract of the paper 5 things. The first is about located. It means like placing the paper in the context of discourse community and field in general. And the second one is focus. Focus means identifying the particular questions, issue, or kinds of the problem. And the third one is report. It means like kinds of the problem that paper will expose. And the last one is a review. This means of the opening of the specific arguments. So those aspects is really important that we need to state in the abstract of the paper.
And the second one, also this is important for the reader before submitted our manuscript to be really aware or really pay attention with the scope of the journals or the journal focus is on. We should be aware and pay attention before submitted the article. All right, and the last one is about literature review. The highlight is about define the key term. We have to say why your article is really important, situate your topic in broader context, and so on, and define the research gap. So those important things that we have to really pay attention before submit our manuscript in the International Journal Index by Scopus. All right. All right. So in the end of the sessions, before we close, we would like to invite Bapak Ibu to take a picture together, maybe in front of the. Sini aja ya, di sini aja. Okay, once again, give applause to Professor Tony. Thank you, Professor Tony. Let's take a pictures before end the sessions. Thank you.
Monggo Prof. Najla, Bu Wiwin, Pak Soleh, Pak Kar, Pak Shunu. Cukup nggak ya ini apa kursinya, bisa duduk di kursi? Silakan. Yes. Bu Wiwin, Prof. Najla, monggo.
Put the faces.